Okay, well, we're going to start our Valentine's Day cooking class, and we've called this one, Will You Be My Valentine? So we have a number of recipes to show you, which they're all really, really yum. It doesn't have to be a Valentine's Day dish. It can be any day of the week. You can make any day of the week special, anytime, any day. But there's a lot of, these recipes are just going to show you a lot of technique, a lot of hints and tips, some different modes in the Thermomix as well. So every cooking class that we showcase, we do try and pick dishes that is going to teach you something different and something exciting. So we're really excited to show these dishes to you. Now, if it's your first cooking class that you're joining with us, my name is Sandra Philippe, and I'm the team leader for the Blade Runners. So we're located in Southwest Sydney, and we run these classes every month, several times a month. So keep a lookout for those. We're in the process of booking some more, so we'll keep you updated with those as well. Now, throughout the class, if you have any questions, you can come off mute and ask your question, or you can pop your question into the chat, and we'll be monitoring the chat and answering your questions. But if you do come off mute, just make sure you tap on mute again so we don't hear everything that's going on in your house. So we're going to get started. Really excited. So we've got Marnie, who's going to show you how to cook mussels in white wine and a creamy garlic sauce. Now, I was just saying to Marnie, this is a family favourite, and I think you're going to really love this recipe. Helen is going to show us sous-vide scrambled eggs, and so we're going to be talking to you a little bit about how sous-vide works as well. So, I mean, that could be like a breakfast in bed option. Never know. Christine is going to be a little bit chefy with her dessert, and she's going to show us how to make a raspberry, and it's so chefy, I don't even know how to say the name. Raspberry Dacquoise, maybe? Dacquoise? I don't know. But it looks really, really yummy. And then Val is going to show you some really cute strawberry-filled cheesecakes, white chocolate cheesecake strawberries. Okay? And I am going to go a little bit chefy as well and show you how to make sous vide lamb chops with a mint sauce. And Elia and her daughter actually, is going to show us how to make a cocktail. Now, that cocktail it's a Portuguese cocktail. Elia's Portuguese, and she's chosen this one and translated it something along the lines of awaken the passion within you. I don't know, something like that, which is a hard one to translate, hey, Elia, without sounding corny. It sounds better in Portuguese. And that's it. All right, so, and if we have time, Val, actually, no, where's your other dish, Val? Hang on. No, did I mention your dish? Yeah, the white chocolate cheesecake strawberries. And if we have time, Val will also like to show you some marinated olives as well, which is a nice entree. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Val. Got all these papers in front of me, got a bit flustered. All right, so we're going to move over to Marnie, who's going to show us those delicious mussels first.
I better take it off mute. I was about to start talking. Okay, so we're doing the mussels. This is so easy, but at the end, I've had so many people comment whenever I've made this about how long it must have taken and how hard it is, but it's so quick and easy. So you really impress your Valentine. So 10 to 15 sprigs of parsley, leaves only. Just give them a bit of a blitz. So just wait for it to open. So there you go, that was 5 seconds, and that's all blended up. You don't have to clean out the bowl in between any of this, because this is all the flavour that'll be in the end anyway. Okay. So next, put in the onions. There's a little bit more there than the recipe. Recipe says 220. I like to put extra in of all the aromats and all the flavour foundations. So that's my 1 to 2 garlic cloves. I think it's actually 6. So you'll find I actually, when I want flavour, I actually ramp it up. 45 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Sorry. So one thing I didn't get out. For those that don't have a Thermomix, you'll see that actually weighs it all out. So you don't have to do it beforehand. We're just going to blend all that up. Just for 4 seconds. Keep it in, and now we're just going to saute it for 8 minutes. So I'm not sure if we want to go to someone else, Sandra.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I was on mute. Yes, we can go to Helen, but I just want to mention with that dish, Marnie, I mentioned before Portuguese, and whenever we do seafood, we don't use pasta, we use coriander, and it just gives a really nice flavour as well, or you can do a mix of both. So just an idea for you to try next time if you do like coriander. Okay, over to you, Helen, for your sous-vide scrambled eggs.
Okay, so I've done these a few times now for myself, but my husband's never awake in time for me to spoil him. So it's really easy. I'm doing half the recipe because there's only me for dinner. I can't do double, so I'm doing half the recipe. So I'm going to put some butter. Bowl. And these are like little fluffy pillows. It's the softest eggs I've ever tasted when they're sous vide. Just going to melt the butter for 2 minutes. Now what I'm using, instead of, because there's 3 ways you can sous vide. I've got a cryovac machine, so I'm using the bag for that. You can use the bags and the pump from the mix shop. And you can use the Ziploc bags, but you've got to make sure they're, BPA free, whatever it is. You set them in water, and as they go down in the water, you let the air out. So they're a little bit harder to do, but if they work, I did it the first time like that, and it worked. So my daughter does have the mix shop bags with the pump. That works for her.
I've got it here, Helen. Can you see it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to use it today as well, and I don't have battery. It's black, but because it does charge with a USB. Yep. So you just plug it in, and then I can show how it works later. But yeah, that's what it looks like from the mix shop. So you don't have to have this big machine, and you can get these bags also from the mix shop. So
yeah, they work really good. Alexia's really happy with those. But I just got a cryovac machine years ago because they're great for getting rid of the air when I'm freezing meat. I can store it in the fridge, so I can use it on here. So I'll show you how to use it there. We've only got 42 seconds. So in this, you sprinkle the chives on top, but I really like flavour through my eggs, so I usually put the chives in with the eggs so they cook at the same time. So I'm going to put some chives and some onion in them so they can cook at the same time. And instead of bacon and toast, I'm going to serve them up with a ham steak for dinner tonight. So we'll just wait for this butter to melt. You got any other tips on sous vide, Sandra?
Yeah, so I was going to say, so when you buy the vacuum seal from the mix shop, it comes with some bags as well. But if you don't have this, then I'll show you what the vacuum seal machine looks like. So it just looks like that. I got this one years ago from Kogan. And you just open it up on the, it's hard doing it this way, like that. And then you pop the bag in, you close it with the bag in, and you press the button, and it sucks the air out and it seals it at the same time. Yep. So it is quite bulky. So I find this a lot better. But I did have to whip this one out because it didn't have battery and it needs time to charge.
All right, so now I'm going to put in the cream. So I'm using 15 grams of cream and 15 grams of milk. So as you can see, they're going to be nice and fluffy. And 3 eggs. And salt. Seconds. So what this also gets you to do is to heat the water up in the Thermomix. You need 1.8 litres of water. So what I normally do is, to save time, I do heat the kettle up and then bring it up to temperature. So that's another trick you can do, because I know it's the kettle function on the Thermomix, but when it's a little bit of water, it's just as quick heating the kettle up. So now I've got to pour the mixture into the bag. So we've got this on the mix shop for your zip bags. I found this holds my bag up really good. It's extendable, because you've got to keep the sides clean. So we'll just pour this, and I'll just hold it just in case it decides to go for a slip. There you go. Oh, perfect. So there you go. There's another thing from the mix shop. You can get the Ziploc bags and the. Now I'm not going to fill the sink up. So what I'm going to do, I'll just move my Thermomix to the side. Can you see the Cryovac machine there? Now the trick to this is trying to keep the mixture away from as it sucks up. So. Okay.
That's what I was actually really curious to see, is how you do that without it sucking
Yeah,
the egg.
I hold the side up so that the eggs stay towards the bottom.
Okay.
So now it's sealing it. And we're done. So they're in there, ready to go. Second one. So let me put the simmering basket in. So this is just to make sure that this fits all, because that'll cook in there, right? On. I don't clean the bowl because it's going to get cleaned while it's the lemon juice. So you know, we put the lemon juice in there because when you're sous vide, stops any. I'll put that in there. It's gone. Hang on.
You forgot the water.
And that might be up to temperature really too, because when you're sous vide, it's a low temperature. 1.8. I'll just move this over in a sec. Oh. My kettle's a small one.
So with most sous vide recipes, you put in 2 litres of water.
Yeah, this was 1.8. So the lemon juice is in there. So we put the simmering basket in there slowly. So yeah. Now it wants you to remove it. I'll just see what temperature it is at already. It's at 40 degrees. So maybe, Sandra, while it goes up to temperature, you can. It says 15 minutes, but I won't need 15 minutes for this. So I'll let you know.
So you just need to let it get to temperature. Okay. All right. No worries. Marnie, I don't think you'd be ready yet, so we can go to Christine.
I am ready.
So, oh, you are? Okay. Oh, that was quick. 8 minutes.
I just binged just at the end there.
Perfect.
So for that 8 minutes, while that's doing its thing in there, this is where the great time when you can debead and scrub your mussels. I've done that previously. That's why I was sitting there watching Helen intently because I'd already done all that hard work. So, oh, yep, done that. Now we add 150 grams of white wine. And I'm going to put the varoma in position, or the spaceship as I call it. This is where down the bottom still cooking, and you'll get all the beautiful mussel juice going through. So put the mussels in the top. I'm just going to dump them. And then it's going to cook for 13 minutes. So I'm done now, Sandra, if you wanted to go to Christina.
All right, awesome. Christina, over to you.
Thank you. Okay, well, I've chosen a French dessert, and the reason why I've chosen this recipe is patisserie cream is one of those creams I've always wanted to learn how to do, but never game enough to try because, you know, many pastry chefs find it a breeze, but I think for us it's quite a difficult thing to do by hand. But I've discovered this recipe and it's going to make patisserie cream very easy. I believe it's called raspberry Dacquoise, and the Dacquoise is basically like a very thin cake layer. It looks like a biscuit, but it's very cakey. It resembles amaretti biscuits. So if you're familiar with that type of biscuit, that's what the cake layer is like. And I'm going to start with that first. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to put 90 grams of caster sugar, but we're going to turn it into icing sugar. And Val, who's also cooking with us tonight, has taught me this trick so that you don't get dust of icing sugar all over your kitchen. If you just put some Glad wrap underneath and that over the top. And we're just going to basically turn that into icing sugar. Just got 14 seconds. Just wait for that to open up. So I've made icing sugar before and it's gone all over the kitchen, but when you add Glad cling wrap in the middle, that won't happen, hopefully. And so the next thing to go in is 90 grams of almond milk. Of course, you can mill your own if you wanted to. Okay, we're just going to mix that. I'll just stop it there. The next thing to go in is 20 grams of flour. Go back and just turn that on a few more seconds. Sorry, I should have put that in at the same time to save time. Okay, so we've just basically combined our dry ingredients into a bowl. It goes. Then I'm going to use a new bowl because we need a very clean bowl for when you're doing the next step, because basically we're making a meringue, and then the meringue is going to be folded through your dry ingredients. Now, Sandra, this is going to take 3 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding 70 grams of caster sugar. As that is whisking through, before I forget, with our butterfly whisk. So if you want to come back to me, Sandra, this will take about 3 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. So what Christina is going to do right now is, as it's whisking the eggs, just throwing in the sugar slowly, and you get this beautiful meringue. Okay, well, Helen, are your eggs in the sous vide already cooking?
I've got five degrees to go. So
Okay. All right. Well, when it reaches 5 degrees, just pop it in there, and then when it's done, let us know.
okay.
Is that okay?
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
All right. So whilst Christine is doing that, so we have Helen's sous vide scrambled eggs cooking. We have Marnie, who's showing us mussels, like using the Varoma, using layered cooking. So that'll be ready in a few minutes as well. So we can go over to Val. Val, you can start the white chocolate cheesecake strawberries.
Thank you, Sandra. Okay, so today I'm making white chocolate cheesecake stuffed strawberries. They're just little bite-sized little cheesecakes, and they're absolutely delicious. So to start off, you need about 15 to 18 strawberries. Pretty much you've got to pat dry them with paper towel. So I've just cut some up already, and I've just started pat drying them with the paper towel just to make sure the paper towel absorbs all the moisture. So once you've done that, once it's been pat dried, you need to cut the top off each of the strawberries. So I'll show you how to do that. So what you need to do is we need to create like a little cup. I don't know if you guys can see there, like a little cup thing for your strawberries. So what you need to do is just pretty much just cut the tops off it. Then with a piping tip, it says no more than 3 centimeters. All you do, I'll just show you, is you just get the piping tip and just pop it in the center, just like that. Give it a bit of a twirl like that, and then pretty much just scoop out the inside stuff. So it creates like a little cup shape. Then what you do afterwards, you just cut the bottom off, just like that. So when you pop it down flat onto your plate, it's able to sit up like that. So I've done a couple. I'll do one more just to show you. So we just cut the top off. Then you use your piping tip just to scoop out the inside. Just be careful you don't. I've just split this one up. I'll just get another one. This one's just a bit soft. I'll just do it again. So you just insert the piping tip and then just scoop it out just like that. And then once you've done that, you just cut the base off so it can sit nice and flat on your dish. Then the next step is we're going to be putting 80 grams of white chocolate. So this is the actual cream cheese mixture that we're going to be using. So 80 grams of white chocolate. Oops, just a little bit over. Fine. And then we're going to melt that. Well, actually, we're going to grate it first for 5 seconds on speed 7. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to melt it for about 2 minutes on 50 degrees. So Sandra, if you want to come back in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was just going to check if there's anything in the chat. No. Okay. Does anyone have any questions so far that they would like to ask? No? Okay. Well, Elia, would you like to start your cocktail?
Sure. So let me just grab my assistant. I went to Coles and got this ring for a kiss. Assistant, Aria.
I love it.
So I went to Coles and I also found these cute little silicone chocolate molds in Love Hearts. And the plan was to make them into ice cubes and add little rose petals, you know, and then put into the ice cube. So imagine how cute it would be in like a glass of water and stuff, but I didn't get a chance to do that. But my assistant is here, welcome. So this is Aria. So now my cocktail will be a mocktail because, you know, kids are around. So the Awaken the Passion cocktail will be a mocktail. Okay, so it's on Portuguese Cookie Do, and they've got a little like Valentine's Day collection, so that's where I saw it. But we've got orange, so if you want to show everyone the orange, so I just peeled it and I just cut one orange. Thank you. So place it in there, please.
All of it?
Yep. Thank you. Press next. We've got frozen strawberries. So I did that yesterday. I'm going to throw them all in, upside down, and just 150 grams of strawberries. Press next. We've got 50 grams of sugar. I've just got white sugar if you're going to put the sugar in. So I was going to open up my Rosé Moscato, and you can use champagne, you know, Prosecco. But yeah, I'm going to use kombucha instead. But you could also do, you know, lemonade and stuff like that. So all in there. Press next. Add the lid. And then it's just going to blitz for 1.5 minutes. So super easy. Yep, press next. And all the way to 9.
All right, Ellie, whilst that's happening, I think we need to go to Christina. Christina, can you hear me? Yeah, sorry. We should have gone to you actually.
That's okay. Oh, just wash my bowl. So I'm ready to go.
Oh, good.
So
Kath,
that's what
we'll
my
explain.
meringue looks like. So I've just whisked 3 egg whites, which equates to 100 grams of egg whites, and 70 or 80 grams of caster sugar slowly added in from the top. Okay. Now we're going to do reserved dry ingredients, go straight in. Okay. Now we add our lid on top. And it's going to basically mix that through or fold that through. We don't want to release the air bubbles out of the meringue. So it's actually going to mix for 10 seconds on speed 3. I've actually added this dish in the chat. It's a really great dish for baking biscuits, but it's also very good if you want to try baking things like Swiss rolls, or if you want to make this kind of recipe. So basically, we're going to fold that in. So it just needs a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do, Sandra, is actually spread that onto my tray till it's about 2 mils thick, and then bake it for 13 minutes. So if you come back to me, I'll make the custard next.
Okay, no worries. I think we can go to Val next, because Val, you'd be ready, won't you? For the little strawberry?
Yep, all good. So now what we're going to do, so that chocolate's been melted. I'll just show you quickly how it's melted. So majority of it's been melted in there. So now we're going to add the cream cheese. So the cream cheese has to be softened. So it's 120 grams of the cream cheese and 50 grams of the whipping cream. Almost there. Okay, it's 50. And 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So what this is actually making the actual cream cheese. The cream cheese filling. Whoops, a little bit more. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to mix this on speed 4 for 2 minutes. Sandra, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Let's see if I'm not on mute. Okay, so let me just see. All right, so we can go to me whilst you're doing that, Val. So I'm going to show you Sous-Vide lamb chops with a mint sauce. Now I've pre-made them because Sous-Vide, we don't get to do this a lot at cooking classes because most Sous-Vide recipes take at least an hour and a half. So this particular dish takes 2 hours. So there's something that we can't actually do from start to finish at a cooking class. But what I've done is I've pre-made the dish so I can show you what it looks like once it's done. There you go. But I'm going to show you how to make it up to the point where it's sous vide. Okay. So now this recipe is from the USA Cookie Dough. Now, when you're searching Cookie Dough, I see someone ask a question about that as well. If you go into the search filter, if you deselect Australia or select all the countries that speak English, like USA, UK, Canada, Australia, Ireland, if you select all of those, you'll get more hits on your search every time you search something in the Cookie Dough. So this particular recipe is from the USA Cookie Dough because you'll find that the measurements are in ounces. They're not in grams or milliliters, but ounces come up on the screen. And then you weigh it in ounces. It's very easy. Sometimes it is hard to know exactly how much the recipe is asking for. If you don't know ounces, I always ask Siri on my watch, and she helps me out through the process sometimes. So we've got our ingredients ready. Now, the first one, it says to grate some lemon zest, which I've already done. And now it says to add, now we're going to be chopping all these herbs. So when you're chopping herbs, just make sure your bowl is actually quite dry. Otherwise, it may not work so well. So we're going to add 1/2 ounce of mint leaves, which is about, not a lot, it's about that much. And now it says cilantro. Cilantro is coriander. If you don't like coriander, you could actually use basil instead, or even parsley. So it would actually be more like a chimichurri sauce, but it would work really well. Now it says to put in the zest and some salt. So I've got all of that here already mixed, ready to go. And also the juice. Oh, actually, do I add that in yet? Yeah, I do. And the juice. Actually, let me just have a look. See if I didn't skip a step. No, it's going to chop the herbs with the juice. Couldn't remember that part. Okay, now it says juice of 1 lemon. First time I did this, I found that it was too lemony, so I only do juice of 1/2 lemon. But again, it just depends how big your lemon is. Added the salt, some black pepper, and now we're just going to chop this 3 seconds on speed 8. Okay, now what I find, because it's got the lemon juice in there for this recipe, I think the last time I did it separate. It doesn't do the chopping that well. So that's why I was like, does it have lemon juice or it doesn't? Because I always add it separately. It doesn't chop it that well. So what you're going to do is just follow the next step, which is to scrape down the sides and then add some olive oil. So yeah, next time you do this, do what I did, and that is chop up your herbs first and then add the liquid. All right, 2 ounces of olive oil. And now we're going to just mix this together. So for 1 minute on speed 3. And what it does, because those herbs won't chop that well, I'm just going to up the speed to speed 4. I won't go any higher than that because you don't want to blend the sauce with the olive oil. And I think that's done. And there's your sauce. So this is, that mint sauce that goes over the lamb chops once they're cooked. All right, so that's perfect. So there is our sauce. I'm just going to pop that in a bowl. So then what you do with this, you just pop it in the fridge, and all these flavors are really going to marry together. Now, it makes a lot, but this is great, not just for this dish, but any kind of steak. It's delicious.
Sorry, Sandra, can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yep, go.
Because mine, I've got to take them out of here now. And see how they're nearly cooked? I've got to just break them up a little bit so that it looks like scrambled eggs. So they're coming along really good. So see there? And I've just got to put them back in again. At the same time, now you say it's taking a long time for scrambled eggs, but in that meantime, I've put the ham steaks on. You could do your toast, you could do your coffee and whatever. So actually, it's not a long time. So back to you, Sandra, for another 8 minutes.
All right, no worries. So our next step, we want to marinate some lamb chops. So I've already done that. I think the longer you marinate beef or meat, the better. So I did that this afternoon and I already Ziploc bagged it. I'm doing half the recipe because I did the other half this afternoon so I could show you what it looks like. But I could easily fit at least 2 of these bags with 4 chops at the same time, easily. I could fit 3 of these bags because for this recipe, we're not using the simmering basket. We are using either the blade cover. You'd be familiar with this one. It looks green. That's because I did a slow cooked dish with turmeric. If any of your accessories go green, like this one, just pop it in the sun and it goes back to its normal color, turns it back to grey. All right, so remember that. Or, so you can use either the blade cover or our new blade cover plus peeler accessory. So one or the other will work for this recipe, and it just means that because you're not using the basket, you could fit 3 of these in there very easy. So I'm going to show you. Okay, so we've marinated this with just some rosemary, some salt and pepper, and some olive oil, and then we vacuum sealed it. And so now you don't need to wash the bowl after doing the sauce. We're going to insert the blade cover. So both of these, they have waves, and what you want to do, you want to put the tall wave on top of the tallest blade. Okay, so that's the way it goes into. I'm going to use this one, so I don't need to use that one. So that just sits on there like that. So for sous vide, for this particular recipe, Siri told me that it's 170 Fahrenheit is 60 degrees. So that's what it's going to cook it at. And I have some water in the Thermomix there at the back on kettle mode onto 60 degrees. So we're going to add in 2 litres of water. All right, beauty of this is that you don't need to wash the bowl. All right, 2 litres exactly. And then we pop in our sous vide bag. All right, and you just chuck it in. Make sure it's submerged, totally submerged. And yeah, I could fit 2 or more of those in there. So that's 12 lamb chops, which is really good. And then we are going to just turn the dial. So the first step, 7 minutes, it's to heat the water. I've already done that. So then it says to put the meat in. Now it's for 2 hours, 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 60 degrees. It's already on 120, easy. And you just turn the dial with the sous vide mode of the TM6, and now we'll see it in 2 hours. So after the 2 hours, the meat is like butter. So what you do, you put it on a really hot frying pan for a couple of minutes on each side, so you get some caramelization. And I tried one of those, and it melts in your mouth like butter. It is just so worth going to the trouble of doing sous vide. And it's a chefy dish that you can present your loved one. All right, so who is next? Who's ready to go?
Hi, Sandra, I'm ready. I just
Okay,
have to
go
make
for
the
it.
custard and put it in the fridge.
Okay.
Okay, so my biscuit base is in the oven. It's got about 8 minutes to go. I'm just going to put the custard on. So there's 2 parts to the cream patisserie. It's a basic custard, and then you separately whip up cream. And when the custard cools down, you whip both ingredients together. So I'm going to make the custard first. It says to add 1 vanilla pod seed, but I didn't have any. So I'm just going to use vanilla essence, really good quality vanilla essence. And I just use the 1 capful trick. I don't know if anyone else uses that trick at home. instead of using a measuring spoon. Okay. Basically, the 3 egg whites that you use now for your biscuit base, you're now going to use it for your custard. And I really love this recipe for that. You've got no waste. 250 grams of just milk. And I suppose if you prefer certain types of milk, you could try experimenting with different types. 30 grams of corn flour. And 70 grams of caster sugar. Okay, now this is basically going to heat up the milk and blend at the same time to make a really beautiful custard. So that's going to take me 8 minutes. So if you want to go to somebody else, Sandra.
Yeah, maybe over to Elia to finish your cocktail. Sorry, Elia.
That's all right. So I just blitzed up the fruit, okay? And now that's all it is. And we just add the kombucha. My assistant is back. Come on now. And then just mix it up a little bit before pouring it into the glasses. Now, I did want to show the Google Translate app because someone mentioned about getting access to the Portuguese recipes. Oops, it's a bit fizzy because of the kombucha, so we'll let it settle for a little bit. So you can use an app for it. I'll show you. But so far, how cute is that? That little drink. Okay, so if you have a look here, I'll try bring it closer. The screen, it might be a bit bright actually. I'm not quite sure if you can see, but it says 50 grams of açúcar, which just means sugar in Portuguese. Now, this little app that I've got, it just says Portuguese to English. I click on camera and I put it in front of the text and it changes to English. I'm not sure if you guys can see, it says sugar instead of the word açúcar. It might not be able to see it, but I hope you're able to see it. But yeah, it's a great Google Translate app, and you just use your camera to hover over in front of the screen. And that's it. And I'll take a photo, and me and my assistant will enjoy the Awaken the Passion mocktail. Thank you.
That looks really yum and super easy to make too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aria.
You're welcome.
Bye. Val, I think we're ready to go to you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Sandra. So what I've done is I've made the cheesecake filling and I'll just put it in a piping bag and just one of these piping bags, which is just a disposable piping bag that you can get from the mix shop. And they come in a pack, I think, Sandra's a pack of 100?
Yeah.
Piping bags,
yeah.
Yes, they come in a pack of 100 and they're disposable, so you can always just throw them out afterwards, or you can actually buy the green one, which is this one here. But I just thought it was just a bit too much for what I need to pipe my strawberries with. So what we do now is, so we get the strawberry and we just get the cream cheese filling and just pipe it inside, just like that.
That looks so cute.
And then you just pop it on your plate, like that.
Yum. I bet you've had one already.
I'll do it a bit closer. There we go, and just like that. And then you can pop it in the fridge if you wanted to, just so the cream cheese filling can soften or harden up a little bit, so it becomes a bit more firmer. But yeah, because of the hot weather, I had to pop it quickly in the freezer just so it can firm up a bit, because it was just too runny before. But yeah, now it's just piping really, really nicely. There we go.
Beautiful. And yeah, and then if you pop them in the fridge straight after, then that cream will harden a little bit more and it'll just be really nice.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Sandra, while I'm also here, I want to
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So I found this recipe which looks really, really good and nice for like for Valentine's Day, look for an entree. And they're called orange marinated olives. It's an American recipe. But it's so easy to make. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll see if I can you see them there?
Yep.
So it's a mixture of different olives. So I've got green, Kalamata and Spanish black olives. You need to peel the zest of your orange very thinly. So the oil and the orange and 3 cloves of garlic cook in the machine for about 5 minutes. And then once that's done, then you add the thyme and your olives in there and let it cook for another 5 minutes, and it's done. That's
beautiful. I'm imagining that with fresh crusty bread straight out of the oven.
Beautiful. Delicious. And also there's chili in there as well. So obviously your preference if you want to add chili or not, but half a teaspoon of chili is in there.
Beautiful. And those strawberries for dessert, yum.
Yum, yes.
My breakfast is ready, Sandra.
Okay.
So here's our eggs. We'll take them out of here. I'll just cut the bag open. What I did, like I said, I was going to, being that it's dinner instead of breakfast, I've got 2 ham steaks that I cooked in the air fryer while they were cooking. And we'll just tip our eggs out. Look at this. And then you just break them up.
Can you move the plate a bit,
Yes.
Helen, because we can't see it. Oh, there we go.
They are so soft, like, and I'll just pop some chives. Like I said, I normally put this in the bag with the eggs so that the flavour goes right through, but I forgot. So I've just chopped up.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah, so, but they're ready to go because the salt and everything's there. So there's breakfast in bed for my husband that doesn't have breakfast in bed. But please try them because they are really, really, really fluffy.
Well, you've given me an idea for breakfast. I have no one to make breakfast for me, but I'm keen to give it a go.
Yeah, don't make it for anyone, make it for yourself.
Marnie, how are your mussels going? Your mussels.
So they're done. So I had them sitting on the side. So I've just put them in a serving bowl, and just recommend get them going all different ways, because when we pour the sauce over, you want it to grab into all those shells. Otherwise, it's just soup in the bottom of the bowl. So there's our sauce. Just pour it over. Oh, yum, 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 yum. And then just get our parsley, sprinkle that on the top. Crusty bread.
Delish.
There we go. Sorry,
That
all
looks
the
so yum. Who's going to enjoy that tonight?
Me. Although the kids are due home from work, so I'll be fighting them, I think.
Yeah, I was saying to Marnie before we started the class, you can also put mussels. You can put the simmering basket in the bowl, put mussels into the simmering basket, and have mussels in the varoma as well. So with the simmering basket, it can do over 2 kilos. And there's also something online called the V-Stacker, which raises up the varoma a little as well. So you can, if you've got that, then you can fit more mussels inside, because it does make a lot of sauce. So if you have more mussels, the more sauce it's going to make, and it's delicious. So thanks for showing us that dish, Marnie, and enjoy your late night dinner.
I'll have my one and then take a photo. I was about to just hook in, but I'll wait and take a photo.
Take a photo, yeah.
Yeah.
I better, yeah. So we will be emailing everyone photos and also links to the recipes as well. Christina, I think we're waiting on you. How are you going?
I'm nearly done.
Okay.
So there's my cream custard. So what you have to do is add that to a plate, add cling film to it, and let it completely cool down. And once that's done, you also need to whip up some double cream. It's quite thick. So when you're reading the recipe, there is no time. You literally have to watch it from the top. As soon as it goes thick, it's done. Both of those go in the fridge, and then you bring them together and you whip them up and then you add them into a piping bag. So I just want to show you how to do your cutting of the biscuit base. I don't know if you can see that, Sandra. This is the mix shop tin. It's the size medium. I love it because I can use a plastic ruler to get the right size. So I made little templates.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah, so
the teacher has come out in you, Christina.
4.5 by 7.5, and I just cut it in half. I actually made one a little bit longer because I don't like to be wasteful. And then all I do is I do one cut, I use the template, and you just use your knife. And you have to do this when the biscuit base is hot, and you do it like this as well. So basically everything gets cooled down, and I'm just going to do the layering now so you can see what it looks like.
I love that tip, because that would be me wanting to get them the perfect size so they stack up together nicely. Beautiful tip.
Okay, so sorry to keep everyone waiting.
That's okay.
I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so I'll tell you the reason why these piping bags are really good for this type of process and not the plastic ones is because you have to put it in the piping bag after the custard has cooled down and you've whipped it up with the cream. It has to sit in the fridge. So this is a really good recipe to do the day before, and the assembly happens just before service, okay? So let's go. So I've got everything ready. So I've got my biscuit base, and I'm going to pipe some little roses. And then over the top, the raspberries go on. Always use fresh, of course. It's a lovely dessert in that it's not very heavy, and then a little bit more cream in the middle. And then the biscuit goes on top. Then you repeat. So this is the kind of custard you would find in puff pastry type desserts or profiteroles. It's quite a light, fluffy type of custard. It's got the cream in there. And then, oops, it's a bit humid at my house. That's what it looks like. And then I'm just going to dust it with icing sugar. Just around the plate. And there it is. You're on mute, so I don't know.
I was mute, but I was like, oh, that looks amazing.
Do you know, I don't have any air conditioning, and it's melting.
Oh, it is very hot today, so you're
so
forgiven. It's not your fault.
The cream, can I tell you, it tastes like the best profiterole cream you've ever had. Like, it's
no way.
amazing.
See,
and you know what? It's the first time I've made it today. So I love the fact that you can pick a recipe with a Thermomix because it's been trialled and errored by professionals. You can't go wrong, really.
And it's a good idea, because if you do love profiteroles, just to grab that cream and fill your profiteroles, because that's something we do often here at home.
Well, that particular recipe can lend itself to many different recipes, even like trifle. If people love trifle, you know, with the layered jelly and the fruits, this would be a beautiful custard to go with that, not too heavy.
Yum. Well, thank you for showing us how to make that, because honestly, if I saw something like that, you know, I'd come across something like that on cookie dough, I'm like, oh no, that's too hard. and I'll just keep going. But you made it look really easy. So thanks for showing us.
It actually said preparation time 30 minutes, but it takes 2 hours to set. So that's why I'm saying this is something you do the steps the day before, but it's actually quick and easy to put together once all that is done.
Yeah, beautiful dessert. Thank you. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and thank you to all my lovely consultants who put their hand up to showcase some of these recipes tonight. I'm really thankful for you guys, because without you this wouldn't be possible, and you're also amazing. If any of you want to join our team and come and join us and you know, share the Thermomix love with us, get in touch with your consultant, or if you don't have one, get in touch with me and I can give you some information about joining the business. Also, if you're a TM31 or a TM5 owner, we have a trade up deal coming up starting on the 14th. So have a chat to your consultant as well about that. It may be time to maybe possibly upgrade to the TM6. Yeah, so we'll be able to give you all of that information. Now, as usual, I'll be emailing everyone recipes and the recording to this class as well. And if you have any questions, you can get in touch, and keep a lookout for our future classes. And thanks again for joining us tonight. We had fun and we're really excited to eat our dishes. So that's one of the perks of being a Thermomix consultant. When you do virtuals, you get to eat what you make. Awesome.
I'm having mine with a scotch without the coffee.
Oh, well, enjoy, Helen. It looks delicious.
Well, thanks, everyone.
And guys, if you do make any of these dishes, let us know how you go. Chat to your consultant. Let her know what you're making, and because we always love to hear what you're making out there. Also, you're going to try the Sous-Vide, Kath? Yeah, it is so good. It's definitely worth the time that you put in, because anything you make in Sous-Vide just melts in your mouth. The Patricia cocktail strawberry. Kath, you're going to do it all. You've got a whole menu there. Good one. Awesome. Love it. Well, I'm glad we've been able to inspire you guys. That is definitely our main mission when we run these classes, is to inspire you to try new things, try new dishes, and just keep loving your Thermomix and getting the most out of your investment, which is really important. Awesome.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, everyone. Awesome. Well, good night, everyone.
Bye.
I'm just going to stop recording.
Bye.
Hey, Marnie,
Yes.
I need to have a chat to you. Just
Sure.
a second. Hang on.
I'm in trouble.
No, don't be silly.